Hello, welcome back. I'm Dusty Darkness. This is Behind the Mash Reviews. Yes, and today we are going to be giving an honest and genuine review of a movie called Damage. Along with reaction reviews and brutal honesty here, I will give you some movie reviews and a similar breakdown as we do over in Confessions from the Dark Side, but less of the gore and more of the new releases from action, comedy, and everything else in between. I got you covered, bringing the Scottish sass and banter from yours truly, Lady Darcy Darkness, of course. So I'm going to get a disclaimer out of the way because I'm Darcy and well, I cannot be trusted not to go well, Darcy. So here goes. I'm full of so much adult content that some of you may think this is unnecessary and some of you think this isn't needed. If you are one of those people, then thanks for stopping by and checking me out. Sit this one out if that helps, but if you can't stand hate, then get the fuck out of my kitchen. Now, for everyone else who likes what I have here, then regular scheduled programming will continue. Shall we get started and are we ready? So what are we covering today? Like I just said, I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I've seen a while back actually this year. It's called Damaged. It's an hour and 37 minutes long. It's rated R. It has Samuel L. Jackson in it. This movie comes under action, crime, drama, mystery, and thriller. So what are we covering today? Well, this is where I discuss and review and break down a new release, and this time it's grab yourself a drink, a snack, let's get comfy to break down and discuss and review this movie today. The movie in question starts with the amazing actor who's been part of many characters, franchises, and has just been about in the industry for quite some time, and he's played so many of them in different genres, and he's not managed to be typecasted at all. It's just he's just a remarkable talent, and he is Mr. Samuel Jackson. Let me take you on a dark mystery tour of where we discuss the movies I've been viewing, reacting, and enjoying this year, even this month, and let's find out what I really think of them. And you, the audience, this movie is now available to stream on Amazon Prime Video. So let's discuss, shall we? Let's get into it. Join me, Darcy Darkness. Are you sitting comfortably? Like I said, this movie is under IMDb as action, crime, drama, mystery, and thriller. It's a Chicago detective, Dan Lawson, travels to Scotland to link up with Scottish detective Glenn Boyd, following the resurgence of a serial killer whose crimes match an unsolved case he was investigating 5 years previously. Its director is Terry McDonough. As writers are Koji Stephen Saki, Gianni Capaldi, who's actually in the movie as the Scottish detective, and Paul Anelio. It stars Samuel Jackson, Vincent Cassel, Gianni Capaldi. It also has a few Scottish treasures in there, like Katie Dickey, who she was actually in the Prometheus series. You've got John Hannah, again, he's been in loads of movies, hundreds of TV shows and stuff, and throughout the UK, he's a really remarkable actor. Laura Haddock, again, she plays, what the fuck's his name? Star-Lord's mum. She's also in a lot of the British actress. She's been in quite a lot of things as well. Got Brian McCarthy, Lindsay Smith again as a Scottish treasure. She's a comedian. She's been in lots of comedy TV shows in the 80s and 90s and is a household name in Scotland, especially where I live in the west of Scotland. And you get Brian Pettifer, who again, he was in things like Still Game and Rab C with Lindsay Smith. He's been in loads of things as well. So he's got such a memorable face for people of Scotland, especially around about the Christmas and New Year when they would actually have their comedy things on. So we have Robert Jack, John Arnold, Dylan Moore, Samantha Coughlin, Elizabeth Rose Ewing, Emma Finlay, Michael Guest, Mark Holden, and Sereni Kay. And like I said, the movie was actually filmed in Scotland and all around. It seems the storyline, it says who done it, murder mystery, killer, police detective, and has 59 more things. We have Police Chicago, Illinois, Police Investigation American in the UK, Detective Serial Killer Scotland, Murder Neo-Noir American Abroad, Scottish Accent Investigation, Murder Investigation, Black Cop, Witness Interview, Flashback, Armed Police, African American Police Detective, Police Drone, On the Run, Female Victim, Newspaper Headline, Intoxicated Ireland, African American Protagonist, Great Britain, car chase, stabbed multiple times, voicemail, warning shot, police interrogation, severed head, Edinburgh, Scotland, Edinburgh, hotel room, ex-police partner, high-speed chase, interrogation, dismembered body, ex-cop, grieving father, crime scene photo, Bible verse, loss of wife, dead body, shot in the stomach, manhunt, severed body parts, interrogation room, revenge, shootout, husband-wife relationship, rain, foot chase, drinking problem, drunken man, crime scene, torso, stabbed in the back, telephone call. That is a whole lot of plot words there that was very, didn't need them really, but it's classed as an action crime drama, mystery and thriller. So what are they saying about it? Again, the storyline is basically what I said. It's rated R for violence, grisly images throughout, language and brief sexual content. And again, it was very brief that I can't even remember it. The quote, Dan Lawson, I rather enjoy controlling your pain. Well, each their own. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes. So I watched this movie quite a while back. Like I said it came under horror originally, but they removed that because it was more horrific, some of the images in it. And we have had many movies like this that would land at the horror front door because it's based on topics that people expect from horror and not much else. That again, I watched this movie for a few reasons, and one was that it was based in Scotland and filmed partially here, with some usual suspects in Scottish TV and film that we grew up to love throughout our childhood. Many of these actors have done a lot for the industry here in Scotland and as the industry as a whole, showing that we too have talent and vision, and we fucking deserve a seat at the table, as we can bring many things that others may not be able to. We have so much untapped knowledge, talent, imagination. It's about time we were there, we were seen and we were there, don't you? There are a few similar faces in this movie, but the story starts off with what seems like the same story: women being attacked and they were feeling like they were being watched. Many of these women are killed in a similar way. We find out that these murders are similar, if not the same, as a case back in Chicago and the United States. So the two police departments have to work together to catch the killer, finally. But they push a lot of things that are not really needed, like a cultish church, because it's a small village, into it, and some shoddy, random, ritualistic bullshit. Yes, it has it all. And the detective is battling the grief of his son. His son had passed away. He's having marital issues, as you can imagine, and he's hit the bottle and he loses everything, and yada yada yada. The killer, or the copycat they call him, did something to the bodies that wasn't released, or the way they're presented, but it's the same sort of plot. Samuel Jackson has his own torment over things from the past, and he also has a drinking problem. If you have a job like that, I'm surprised you're not just drinking. You have other sort of attributes to actually cope with the things you've got to deal with on a regular basis. Love how no matter what you are in the world, if you're a detective, you have the same drinking problem. Don't become a police officer, people. It will give you a drinking problem, lesson learned. Unnecessary deaths to thicken the plot, more like losing the plot. It was awful when you realise why the story makes no sense. They realise they have the wrong guy and then string out some more payback. Why do you do all this? It was just... Then you realise everything was a copycat and that there was always a bigger picture of revenge for Samuel Jackson, holding a grudge against his ex-partner and his ex-missus cause they were having an affair. Shame for shame. And then he decides to take the offence to the people carrying out similar killings. He takes offence, to the people carrying out similar killings in his name, his style, but not as good, apparently. He has a superiority complex, and it was all about the other guy being lured back to Scotland, not Chicago, but Scotland of all places, so he could wreak havoc and goad some other random guys into killing women as he wanted or fantasized about. That he couldn't have some BS all women must die horribly as he gets his kicks while you suffer. And of course the detective in charge is trying his best to sabotage the case as his wife becomes one of the victims. And as everyone knows, a victim's family member being involved in a case is always a good idea, right? No, it's not. It's McLeod's judgment, and this would be inadmissible in court for his involvement. As he's too close, yet they don't handcuff that man and put him away so they can do their job. Nope, he gets to run amok and causes more trouble than he's worth. As you know, he wouldn't be on that fucking case if anything happened to his family, because again, that when it came to court, the person can get away with it. And again, it happens. In movies, tends to be nowhere else. They know who the killer is, and when Samuel Jackson flees, it looks like an ad for an off-road vehicle and not an ending to a thriller. It was incredibly odd. This movie I thought it was terrible. I was looking forward to it, but again, Samuel Jackson is in loads of movies. He just likes to work, it seems. He obviously is used to a standard of living, so therefore he does every movie, and fair play to him, because again, everybody's got to work and everybody's got to pay their bills. I didn't find the movie particularly great story-wise. It was very predictable. It made no sense in some bits, especially when they brought in the cult. It wasn't the cult, it's a small church that has obviously different beliefs, and they try to make it kind of ritualistic with like satanic symbols and symbols from other religions. And again, that just turns me the fuck off, because a lot of the time the people that are researching these movies know nothing about cults. They know nothing about other religions, especially religions that are much older than Christianity, and they make you out to be the bad guy, and all it does is turn me the fuck off. Because if you're going to go down that route, then go down that route, but don't stop halfway through and then make it about something else, because that just loses all interest and loses all hope. And like I said, it was horrific to watch. I give this movie 1 out of 5 because it wasn't great, but it also wasn't shit either. The 1 star is for Samuel Jackson and not for anybody else, sadly. Have you seen Damaged? What are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments below. And are you sick and tired of dire thrillers, yet with big names, yet the story fails to grip us? I'm going to actually read a few of the reviews, because there seems to be a few. It was out in April, and the countries of origin are United Kingdom and United States. Its production companies are Hi-Fi Films, Bondit, Media Capital, and Evolutionary Films. And I'm going to read user reviews. Apparently there's 50 of them, but we're not going to go through 50. So what I'm going to go through is the two. We've got some. We'll see if there's any 1 stars. There is. Actually, we'll start if there's any 10 stars first of all. Did anybody give it? They did. Someone gave it a 10 star. APG123 gave it 10 out of 10. So let's see, let's do a couple of 10s and then do a couple of 1s and see how much someone has been paid to say what, shall we? So well done, slow-paced fiction. Well done for slow-paced, okay. A comfortable, slow-paced, dark-themed fictional story, well filmed, well edited and well played. That's false. There's a subtle humour and strong characters, and overall the way it's done is appealing enough for me to watch it. Again, that's false. Like almost all movies nowadays, there's nothing new here and more bloodshed than necessary. I wouldn't even say that it was bloodshed, this movie. I had a lot of showing you like some close-up magic, as it were, for the scenes of the ritualistic part of it, and trying to talk about like dismembered bodies, and it was quite drab, to be honest. Some people might appreciate the showing of bloody limbs stacked together as if this was the deli section of the supermarket. Yeah, we fucking like it, fuck you. For me as a vegan, there we go. However, that absolutely unnecessary and doesn't add anything to the movie. So you think it's supposed to be a psychological thriller with like murder aspects about a serial killer? There's going to be some blood and gore and body parts. Read the fucking description on the back. Also do an IMDb search or an internet search and it will tell you exactly what the fucking movie's about. It shouldn't matter if you're vegan or not. You're not going about eating fucking human beings. Also, as some have complained, parts of the plot are implausible and unrealistic, but then it's not a documentary. But if you're going to go all cult and ritualistic killing, you need some sort of fucking backbone to the story. APG123, you talk so much shit. It's just a made up story, yes, like most of the stories, but if there's no story and no grip for you to actually continue the story and be actually entertained, then you are going to complain about it. Made for entertainment purposes, was it really? And as such, it excels in my book. Well, you basically said you don't like bloody body parts of humans because you're vegan. Didn't know vegans ate humans, but hey, at 1 hour and 30 something minutes, I would call this an instant classic. Really? Really? An enjoyable no-brainer on a weekday night. Again, I'd rather watch paint dry, but hey. Or even a stay-at-home Saturday evening. Again, somebody, you need slapped, flogged, something, because that was terrible, that review in itself. Caledonia Relations. What a great thriller, a must-see with an exclamation point. I really enjoyed this. I'm a big fan of the genre, yeah, but this was definitely none of those genres. It reminds me of Seven, Bone Collector and Zodiac. You could be not far from the truth. Holy fuck. You just said that Damaged is like Seven, The Bone Collector and Zodiac. No, it's not. Oh my goodness, these movies are still movies that I would put on today. Seven is still a movie that when you see it on, you fucking watch it because it's fucking amazing. Acting, story, the lot, how it is executed, the lot. The Bone Collector, an even more amazing film, again. And Zodiac. Again, Zodiac is based on there's a Zodiac killer, and Seven as well is based around serial killers, similar as well. If you like this genre, you'll love Damage. No, you won't. I love this genre, and Damage doesn't even cut my top fucking 50. What a twist at the end. It wasn't. It was predictable. Literally knew it from the fucking minute you fucking started watching the fucking film who the killer was. Would never have worked that out. If you couldn't work that out, you should maybe watch another set of films because you're obviously defected. Don't want to give it away, but I read some reviews which said the ending was predictable, and I think they are fabricating it all. I think you're fabricating it all. Were you being paid to write this? This is one of the best endings, which made the movie so worthwhile. No, it didn't. Jackson is so charismatic. He's charismatic as a person, so of course it's going to come out in his craft. He was brilliant. Meh. He's done better. Loved the Scottish contingent. Gianni Capaldi, Katie Dickey, and John Hannah. Elaine C. Smith, I think you're fucking missing a fucking treasure right there, mate. This is a must-see. It was great to see Scotland shown in the movie. It's always adds character to this movie. It was based in fucking Scotland, so of course it's going to be fucking filmed there. Holy fuck. So that was only 10 stars. Okay, so let's do some 1 stars that are probably closer to the truth. Just bad NUFC_Jodie. Maybe it's because the characters are so dull and uninteresting that none of the actors have brought their A-game to this movie. Someone speaking sense. The script and dialogue are unconvincing and nonsensical. The storytelling is so bland, I completely lost interest about halfway through. Exactly. Samuel Jackson is a great actor, but he manages to provide a performance that's so lackluster even a drama school dropout would be ashamed of. It's so bad I can't even think of anything positive to say. The editing is amateurish. The score and sound effects are just odd. Like they've been pulled from an 80s TV movie. 80s TV movies that are shown in Channel 5 back in the day are better than this. This movie has nothing to offer but disappointment. Don't waste your time. It's free to stream, so if you want to watch something with Samuel Jackson that's not one of his greater movies, then watch it. Want to watch it to show support to Scotland and the people who created this movie, because the guy who plays the detective is one of the writers as well, then feel free. Please support your fellow small writers, directors, creators, producers, the lot. Watch it, but it's not really anything great. Wall XNMV-64253. Actually cannot believe I made it to the end of this film. Terrible, not even funny, terrible. Proof a class star will do anything for money. Badly shot, bad storyline. I actually thought halfway through ITV or BBC could have done this better, really. Have you seen some of the shite that they fucking produce? Samuel ain't too bad in it, but the poor script and obvious plot and huge blunders just make it worse, so much worse that Snakes in a Plane, at least that had its humour. Sorry, Sammy, go back to your pythons. Not sure who the lead was. Didn't recognise him, but just reminded me of a B-class Ross from Friends. Oh, poor fucking David Schwimmer, man. Could have been done well, but they just couldn't pull it off. I do agree it could have been done better. I don't know what I just watched. Pet Cunder. Same for Samuel Jackson and VC. This movie doesn't cost a penny. There's a few moments a real Samuel Jackson play, but in total 35 seconds, mostly when he is drunk. The plot is flat and there is no real logic in it, missing clues, connections, etc. All actors play as for a high school end of year theatrical performance. Morgan Freeman will never play in such cheap production for sure. I don't know what favour and to whom Samuel Jackson owned, but he double paid for it. I'm not sure if you knew that he got filmed or he thought everything was just a rehearsal. Maybe he was really drunk when he was in Scotland, because I doubt he would agree to participate in such a junk movie if he was sober. Bad all-round movie. C Flattery 98806. It falls into a worn-out movie trope of having the bumbling drunk outsider who makes the local police look like a bunch of half-wits, and the whole movie just never rises above the level of inanimate stupidity. The actors just walk listlessly through the motions without a single interesting performance in the whole movie. Even the death of one of the main characters is played off as just an unimportant footnote. There is nothing compelling or interesting, be it the scenery, the dialogue, or any sense of tension between the actors. It's all just casual walk in the park, like they're playing a game of checkers while trying to make us think we're watching a chess match. Slow, boring, and useless by Piper No Laura. I like Samuel L. Jackson, but he's totally out of place. And why is the Scottish cop the lead, but he doesn't even make it to the poster? Boring, slow, predictable. Looks like an episode of a Lifetime series. How did Jackson even agree to something like this? It was during the pandemic, and I think everybody agreed to do anything because you didn't know where the money was coming from Nick. When a Sam Jackson movie doesn't get a theatrical release, you know you should watch something else. Acting is poor all around. Film looks cheap and poorly edited, but that's even the least of its problems. This is supposed to be a whodunit kind of thriller, but misses at every turn, and there's irritating cop running around all the time. His acting way over the top, and poor Cassell seems so out of place. What's he even doing there anyway? Why is a French officer involved in this? And why the weird accent? The film desperately tries copycat other better thrillers. Think Seven, for example, but this time it's put together with B-movie glue, and frankly, who cares what happens to the poor victims? Sometimes you watch movies and get to wonder who the hell gave this script a green light. I always say it's who blew the best. Sorry, but it is. Who blew the best penis and who basically bend over the best. I always feel like that when they do movies like this, when they fail to execute and deliver from the plot. It lost the plot from the start and continue to go down a downward spiral that they could not get in front of or turn around, should I say. So the whodunit movie, Damaged, with Samuel Jackson and a bunch of other Scottish treasures, was a myth for me, and it seems a lot of people and a lot of delusional people who gave it 10 out of 10 who really don't understand what a genuine and honest review actually is, unless they're being paid word for word, by word, or being paid to lie to us, so we actually will watch and get a movie to number one usually. There's a lot of movies, they're saying that some movies that have been released straight to streaming have went to number one, that means that they're good. No, it doesn't mean they're good. It means that more people will just buy word of mouth and also buy reviews, especially inaccurate reviews such as this, that actually causes people to watch these movies and waste their time. It wasn't even terrible bad like you get with some movies. This was just awful. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Do you think I'm being too hard? Let me know in the comments below. If you like content like this, remember to go check out Behind the Mask Reviews on social media platforms like Instagram, Twitch, and of course YouTube. If you enjoy dark humour, no filter fun that surrounds horror, sci-fi and fantasy, range from movies, TV show, games, music, books and everything else in between, you can go check out the podcast Confessions from the Dark Side, which is available to listen on YouTube, Amazon Music, Spotify and Buzzsprout. Interact with Confessions from the Dark Side on Twitter, which is X, YouTube and Instagram. Thanks for listening and tuning in. I'm Lady Darcy Darkness, and that was my honest and general review of Damage, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.